Hi, I'm Jane Kiernan, and I'm running for Oradell Borough Council. I moved here to Oradell with my husband Tom back in 2002 with our newborn baby boy. We then had two more baby boys and have really enjoyed raising them here in this beautiful town. I grew up in New York City, in Queens. I stayed there until I went to Cornell University, and after I graduated, I moved back to Manhattan, where I met Tom. We moved out to San Francisco for a few years to be part of that late 90s dot-com boom. And then we moved back to Manhattan because we wanted to be near our family when we raised a family. As a New York City girl, moving out to Oradell was a huge surprise. It's so beautiful here, it was almost magical. The tree-lined streets, the very friendly neighbors, the very responsive police department, fire department, and DPW. You just don't get services like that in New York City. I have really enjoyed raising my family here, and I really have no plans to ever leave. I'm running for council because I have been volunteering around the town of Oradell for 2 decades. I've seen the beauty of Oradell, and I've seen some things that I would like to see changed. I have volunteered in positions of the Oradell Public School PTA president, the Riverdale Booster Club cross-country treasurer. I've been a baseball team manager. I've taught CCD. I've seen a lot of different aspects of Oradell. I've thought about running in the past, but I had 3 small children, and I knew I wouldn't be able to give the time and the energy that this position deserves. Now, my 2 oldest are in college, my youngest is a freshman in high school, and I'm ready. I can go all in, and that's what I want to do. Well, there are many aspects of Oradell that I would want to delve into, like, for instance, properly staffing the DPW, making necessary repairs to older buildings in town, like the police department or the senior center, tree planting initiatives. My priorities, if I was elected, because I've spent the last decade running around after my 3 boys, I have been very involved in youth rec sports and the youth rec summer camp. And I feel like there's a communication gap that's happening there that I would like to improve upon. I think we need better communication between the borough, the Oradell Rec Department, the leagues themselves, and the parent volunteers. A lot falls on the shoulders of the parent volunteers. Sometimes it feels like we're battling the town to try to get something done, when really we're all on the same page and just want to do what's best for the kids. We have a lot of people come from other towns to Oradell every week to see a sports game, to come to an event, and I want them to be wowed by Oradell. I want them to go home and say, hey, I was in Oradell today, and that's a really great town. And I want the same thing for our kids when summer rolls around and they say, Mom, Dad, did you sign me up for rec camp yet? I had such a great time last year. Our rec camp should be something that we're proud of, something that the kids look forward to, something that parents look forward to signing their kids up for. I don't want a cookie cutter camp. Kids aren't cookie cutter. They want different things. And I really think that there's a lot more that we can do there, and that will definitely be one of my priorities. When it comes to town decision making, again, I think communication is key, and communication with our borough residents. Right now, we have some members of our current council, like Tracy Schoenberg and Roger Tashin, who are excellent at responding to queries that appear on Facebook. People have concerns, they write them down, and they respond, and they follow up, and they get a lot of thank yous for that, and I think that's great. But if I'm elected to council, I think we can do more. I think I would like to come up with some kind of weekly communication plan to let the residents know what's going on that week, what they have to look forward to, and a way for them to ask questions and get a response. Our borough website is actually excellent. Everything that you need to know is on there, but I don't think that people go there regularly. I just don't think that that's part of their normal routine. They check Facebook, they check their email, and I would love to come up with some sort of plan that would help to communicate with them so that if something big is coming up, they can tell us how they feel, and we can use their responses as we go forward. Well, my background is in advertising account management. I worked at agencies, both big and small, in New York City and in San Francisco, ultimately landing at Showtime Networks in New York City, where I worked as an account director. Now, an account director is a liaison between the client and the agency. You basically have to take 2 groups of people who are many times warring, sit them down at the same table, and now we have to agree. We have to agree on the project. We have to agree on the budget. We have to agree on the strategy. We have to agree on the schedule. It is a very, very difficult job, and it is one that I was very good at. And I think that I can bring that skill set to the council, because ultimately I will still be a liaison there. I'll be a liaison with whatever committees I'm assigned to, and I'm going to work closely with them. I'm not somebody who shoots off an email and then sits back for 2 weeks and waits for somebody to respond. I'm going to follow up. I'm going to offer to help. I'm going to roll up my sleeves. I'm going to get the job done. And I think that's what we need on the council right now. What differentiates me from the other candidates? Well, first off, I've never been on the council before, and I think that's a good thing. I think by not being on the council before, I don't bring any baggage. I don't have an agenda. I don't have to go with, let's do this because we've always done it this way. I'm allowed to ask questions. I'm allowed to have fresh ideas. I think the council needs that. I think the council needs some fresh faces and some new ideas. But I guess I would say what really differentiates me is that I'm not a politician. I'm a mom. I'm an Oradell resident. And my main objective is to contribute to the betterment of this town that I fell in love with 21 years ago. And I'm hoping that come November 7th, I'm given that opportunity. Thank you very much for listening.